The war room of the Galactic Empire's command station hummed with nervous energy as Admiral Kane studied the holographic display before him. The blue glow illuminated his weathered face, casting deep shadows that seemed to mirror the growing concern etched into his features. Around him, officers from a dozen different species worked frantically at their stations, their various appendages dancing across control panels with practiced efficiency. "Admiral," called out Lieutenant Vex, her reptilian scales shimmering under the artificial light. "We're receiving confirmation from the Outer Rim. The entire 7th Fleet is gone." Kane's jaw tightened. The 7th Fleet consisted of 200 warships, including 3 dreadnoughts and a battle station the size of a small moon. It had been the Empire's most formidable force, capable of conquering entire star systems. Now it was nothing more than scattered debris floating in the void. "What do we know about the attackers?" Kane asked, his voice carrying the weight of command earned through decades of conquest. "That's the problem, sir," Vex replied, her forked tongue flicking out nervously. "We know nothing." The ship appeared on sensors for exactly 17 minutes. No identification signals, no response to hails, no records in any database across the galaxy. It engaged the fleet and disappeared. Kane frowned. In his 40 years of service, he had never encountered a vessel that wasn't cataloged somewhere in the Empire's vast information networks. Every civilization, every pirate clan, every rebel faction had been mapped, studied, and categorized. The Empire's strength lay not just in its military might, but in its comprehensive knowledge of every potential threat. "Show me the tactical analysis," he ordered. The hologram shifted, displaying a 3-dimensional recreation of the battle. Kane watched as a single ship, roughly the size of a heavy cruiser, materialized at the edge of the system. The vessel's design was unlike anything in the Empire's records, sleek where most ships were angular, smooth where others were adorned with weapon arrays and sensor pods. The unknown vessel engaged at maximum range, Vex continued, her voice steady despite the implications. "Our ships returned fire immediately, but their weapons appeared to have no effect. Watch this." The display showed the Empire's pride. Massive beam weapons that could slice through mountain ranges, striking the mysterious ship. The energy simply dissipated across its hull like water on stone. Meanwhile, the unknown vessel's response was devastating. Beams of pure white light lanced out, each one reducing an Imperial warship to its component atoms. The engagement lasted 14 minutes, Vex reported. No Imperial vessel survived. The unknown ship then vanished from sensors as suddenly as it had appeared. Kane studied the display, his mind racing through possibilities. The Empire had conquered thousands of worlds, absorbed hundreds of civilizations, and crushed every resistance movement it had encountered. Its databases contained the technological capabilities of every known species in the galaxy. Yet here was something completely outside their experience. "Any survivors?" he asked. "Negative, sir. However, we did recover some automated probe data from the battle zone. The energy signatures are unlike anything we've encountered. The ship's propulsion system appears to violate several known laws of physics." Kane's aide, Commander Rix, approached with a datapad. His insectoid features were more animated than usual, indicating high stress levels. "Admiral, we've received reports from Intelligence Division. They've conducted a full search of all archived records going back 5,000 years. No matching technology, no similar energy signatures, no references to this type of vessel in any conquered civilization's databases." The implications were staggering. The Empire had been expanding for millennia, cataloging every species and their capabilities. If something this advanced existed, how had they remained hidden? More importantly, what did their emergence mean? For the Empire's continued dominance? What about the ship's trajectory? Kane asked. It appeared to be heading toward the outer colonies, Vex replied, specifically toward the Sol system. Kane had heard of Sol, a minor system containing a recently discovered primitive species that had barely achieved faster-than-light travel. The Empire had planned to incorporate them within the next century, once more pressing conquests were completed. The inhabitants called themselves humans, and preliminary reports suggested they were technologically inferior and politically fragmented. Could the ship be heading there for a reason? Kane wondered aloud. Unknown, sir, Vex answered. The Sol system contains nothing of strategic value. The dominant species has only recently achieved interstellar capability. Our scouts report they're still fighting among themselves and have no unified government. Kane made a decision that would have seemed impossible an hour earlier. Recall all fleets from the expansion fronts. I want every available ship protecting the core worlds. The command staff exchanged glances. The Empire had never retreated from anything. Its doctrine was built on overwhelming force and continuous expansion. To pull back resources suggested a threat level that hadn't existed in living memory. Sir, Commander Rix interjected, perhaps we should attempt to make contact with the Sol system. If this unknown vessel is connected to the humans, we might be able to gather intelligence. Kane considered this. Prepare a diplomatic envoy, but keep it small and maintain maximum distance. If this ship is indeed connected to the humans, we need to understand what we're dealing with. As the officers dispersed to carry out his orders, Kane remained staring at the holographic display. The Empire had built its power on the assumption that no technology could surprise them, that no opponent could match their might. Now, somewhere, in the vast darkness of space, a single ship from an unknown civilization had shattered that assumption. The age of unchallenged imperial dominance was over, and Kane had the sinking feeling that humanity's story was just beginning.